Good afternoon, Anita madam. Hello.
Good afternoon, sir. Kemti achanti?
Bas, theek hai. I think we should wait for 5-10 minutes. I think audience is
Agya. So how much kette expected achanti aji?
Normally time 10-15 minutes pare hi join karo this maste. It's a regular habit of people.
Kahinki pacharuchi na mu bhabuchi which part?
Again.
Which part I should skip first? And which part?
Actually, you should cover it completely. Generally, cover kar dele better ho. I mean, the basic structure of the act cover kar dele better ho.
Okay. It's for an gute ghante pai na?
1 hour, as long as you can continue. 1 hour or 45 minutes. तुषार सर असले नमस्कार तुषार सर हेलो
जेतरे समस्ते आसी जानती ना तापरे लाइव करवा उचित मो ख्याल से यूट्यूब रे कहीं कि ना कई गुड़े जाए कि खुजिबो जदी यूट्यूब रे तो ही विल सर्च कि silence ochi, no one is talking, nothing is happening.
Okay.
I mean, it's completely my opinion.
No, it's of course I think we should continue. How madam I was just going through your CV. You started practicing from 2020 pandemic period.
Did you get my this thing?
Yeah,
my
I got
introduction?
I got your CV.
Okay. So जहाँ introduction रे practice रो लिखी थी, you can say about that. There are a lot of things behind that.
Okay.
कथा अच्छी, so I'm not going to.
No, prior to that you were. Sir. Again,
नमस्कार मीर बाबू.
नमस्कार
madam. Advisor होती है अपना. He's a very senior mentor also.
Again.
आपण को सुनिया को जॉइन करछो.
Thank you so much.
आपण एखनी कोठी अछंती?
Most of the Jang enclave, yeah, Delhi.
Oh, you are in also Delhi. I am also in Delhi.
Acha, okay. Let's catch up then sometime. You are most welcome to my office. My office is in Safdarjung Enclave.
Okay.
Safdarjung Enclave.
I stay in Basan Kunj.
Oh, quite nearby. I'll share my address. Yeah.
Correct.
Now, Mihir Sahu Babu, apan kodi rochati?
Bhubaneswar. I come down to Delhi very frequently, but Bhubaneswar station is Bhubaneswar.
Okay.
Sahu Babu is a chartered accountant of repute in Bhubaneswar for practicing for more than 30 years now. Yeah.
Okay.
He is associated with OCF. He is the general secretary. The OCF is a philanthropic organization. We are trying to develop the entrepreneurship culture in Odisha among the youth people and young entrepreneurs. And this is going on for last 2 years. Intermittently, we hold conclaves for the young entrepreneurs. Last conclave we held at Delhi on 17th December. So there are about 72 startups who had applied, and 25 of them presented their business proposal there. The two MPs were there, then Secretary MSME was there, then Chairman of Odisha Startup was there, Director IIM Sambalpur was there. So it was a good gathering. It helps connect people with, you see, young people require support. Mentoring
Actually.
is required. They require financial support. So we have created this platform for connecting those people.
Wonderful job you are doing, sir. Wonderful job.
It's just a platform so that they know they can come to us for some help, and if we have a lot of members who are willing to help, so we connect them.
And youngsters, new startup, they always look for some angel investors, or they always look for some mentor who can help them out.
That is one aspect, but there are many aspects to a business, not only financing, but even technological, even marketing, supply chain, various issues are there. Even if you have a good idea and it has to be marketed, it has to be sold, people have to buy that. Then only your money comes in. Yeah.
Correct.
And the success rate of MSC, these startups are not very encouraging, even though there are many successful stories in startups, but lot of also fail in their journey. So they will always require support for initial five years or so till they stand on their own.
Oh, yeah. Correct.
And especially Odisha, where there is no business culture as such among our own people, and they don't have anybody to look up to also. Right? There are no success stories available in Odisha as an entrepreneur. Very few.
Very few.
So, yeah.
So
support base is required. Yeah.
Exactly. I just attended a meeting, of startup committee of ICA in Mumbai just last on 2nd of February. Now there about 300 professionals, chartered accountants, they gathered. Their problem was they were not finding right kind of startups to invest. Here we are starving for funds, but they're flushed with the investors. So we are staying in a disadvantageous zone actually, where spontaneous investors are not there. That is the problem. So we need to, our main focus is to handhold and create the business entrepreneurs from startup, from the word go. And we have a strong 2,500 successful entrepreneurs and professionals, those who have volunteered to share their experience in providing handholding support to the startups, whether they
very nice.
from whatever source they come. Connect directly to us. We are also scouting for them from Startup Odisha. There is a OHub. That's a government initiative to handle and provide financial supports to all these startups. There are about 700, sir, 700 or something. About 700 odd startups are registered in OHub.
Okay.
And today's topic, I think it will be also very relevant for all those, this major problem with the startups, they are lacking the knowledge of compliance. And this sexual harassment act is also a part of the compliance of a corporate house. So
that's right.
This is required for them. I think participants are very, today being Sunday, participants have not joined so far. What to do, sir? Kaun kariye? Sir. Sir. Tushar sir. Ma'am, we'll start at 5:15, sir. After 2 minutes. Good afternoon, friends. As a continuous effort of Odisha Corporate Foundation, we are always bringing eminent professionals before you to deliberate on various topics which are concerning the business and its various requirements. Today, fortunately, we have got Advocate Anita Mahapatra, madam, who will speak on sexual harassment in office. And there is a specific act, Sexual Harassment, Prevention of Sexual Harassment Act in 2013. It is, imperative to know about this law for the lady employees as well as for the employers. I think ma'am will be the right person to comment about the statistics. As far as my experience, and not exactly my experience, as far as my knowledge goes, there are some fake cases also they come up. This act is created to protect women employees. At times, it works as a deterrent in their appointment, in their acceptability in the offices. I have seen many of my clients, they are averse to taking lady employees because of, there might be some fake complaints. Ma'am, I'll urge upon madam to comment and how to handle with all these issues. Friends, let me introduce Madam Anita Mahapatra. Anita Mahapatra is an eminent lawyer and a partner in Attorney Alliance law firm based out of Delhi. Having more than 24 years of work experience in different fields, out of which 12 years of experience is in legal field. She's a daughter of an army officer, so punctuality, sincerity, and honesty is inherent. So I was a little scared, all our members could not come in time. That's why we are apologetic to you, ma'am. She is silver medalist in NCC and have marched in Rajpath on 26 January 1992. She completed LLB law degree in the year 1996. She has a vast experience. Corporate law as have worked with various privileged companies in Delhi NCR till 2019 as a legal advisor. She switched over to hardcore litigation in 2020 and has opened a law firm with the name and style of Attorney Alliance. The firm provides legal help and service in all kinds of cases. Her belief there is lack of entry to justice for poor. Lawyers must do pro bono work, and it's possible only if they inculcate empathy. She gives access to justice for women who are victims of domestic violence, sexual harassment, rape, molestation, dowry, disownment from property, etc. Apart from her professional career, she is a marathon runner, a fitness freak, a passionate dancer, a theater actor. Her life has always been challenging, being a single mother, and she has been facing it with a high spirit. With these few words, I present before you the charming lady, Madam Anita Mahapat. Ma'am, over to you, please.
Thank you so much for your lovely introduction. It was really a lovely introduction. And good evening, everyone, each and everyone. I would like to thank OCF for giving me this opportunity and giving me this platform to speak on this subject. But I would like to make clear to each and everyone today that I'm not giving any session or taking any workshop or training on POSH Act. Well, I'm a trainer on POSH Act for the formation of IC company. I go to the corporates and various government and semi-government NGOs, various organization, private, public organization, wherein I train about about the POSH Act, because IC committee is already established there and awareness program is there. But today, I'm not going to tell anything about POSH Act. Rather, I am going to speak about why this is important to implement by the corporates, by your organization, because you all are entrepreneurs, you all are startup running up. So everyone, every company, it's a small, big, large, semi, it's a non-government organization. Everybody is should form IC, that is Internal Complaint Committee, and should implement this POSH Act in their organization. That is my motto. And I'm already working on this project here in Delhi and NCR. I am taking it forward to our state, Odisha state, my hometown. I belong to Mayurbhanj district, Baripada, from district of our president Draupadi Murmuru, Tankar district ru mu belong kore. So so that is what I'm going to say. I also want to know whether you guys, all of you are comfortable in which language, because I'm fine with Odia also. If everybody is fine with Odia, I would like to, because Delhi और NCR जो मैं training गुड़ा दिए English रे ही दिए, but OCF platform रे I want to tell you something about very important aspect about this act. So mu Hindi Odia रे कोई बात कुछ चाहूँगी. If everybody is comfortable, then I will start in this language. जदि maximum are comfortable in English, then of course I don't have any choice. I will say in English. मते टिके chat रे समस्ते कोई दियंतु, because everybody is mute. तो टिके मते जाने दे भी, everybody is comfortable in Odia. I would like to speak in Odia.
Yes, you should continue in Odia, no problem.
Okay. Perfect.
Most of us are Odia, so no problem. You can continue.
So, okay, let it be mixed in that case. Odia and English mixed. Kahinki Odia platform re ame jadi kohuche, so we should be proud of our language Odia. Odia re hi koiba kotha, because I am not in a platform where Hindi English people are there. Mu to samosto ko nijar beli bhabuchi. We are a kind of family. We belong to
ma'am,
Odisha.
I hope few are there. That's right. You can mix it up. I think that will be better.
Yeah. Okay. Some non-Odia are also there. Okay.
Yeah.
Acha,
Yes.
I think it will be difficult for them to understand Odia.
Right.
ठीक अछि. I will mostly speak in English. So my basic motive, sexual harassment through this topic, I mean, I wanted to discuss, because sexual harassment, at workplace is considered violation of women's right to what? To equality, to life, liberty, to live life with dignity, to carry any profession under Article 14, 15, 21 of the Constitution of India. So sexual harassment creates an insecure and hostile work environment which discourages women's participation in work. On this topic, I have been explaining very petty things to every organization, but here I'm not going to talk about what is sexual harassment is all about. It has a lot to say. I mean, a small thing. There are many things which falls under sexual harassment, but I'm not going to tell all those. I'll only discuss about why this IC has to be formed in your organization and why this POST Act is important and it is to be complied. On compliance part, I'll talk. So, take introduction mudde par bhi that the sexual harassment.
Let them understand what is what.
Yeah, so Mote Tike, if you don't mind, can I present one presentation also? How Tike easy hai wo samajhno ko bujhwa pai. If you can allow me to share, mo pakre seda achi na permission achi ki?
Achi. You can share.
Yeah, share. Have you made me host?
नहीं co-host अछंती करंतु शेयर करंतु हे जो
करी हो ना एटा
हां या भी शो कला
please मत कहंतु if everybody can see on my screen.
Yes.
Again.
Visible.
Okay, very nice.
Visible, ma'am.
So mu kichi भी आरंभ करबा आगु विवेकानंद स्वामी विवेकानंद रो गोटे कोट कहबा को चाहू जी. Country and nation which do not respect women have never become great nor will ever be in future. This was stated by Swami Vivekananda and it's very true. And every country should understand this. Our nation should understand this. I would talk about our state should understand this, because I would like to take this project for this implementation of ICN awareness program on POSH Act to our state, Odisha, because hardly anyone aware about this act. So in very short, I'll tell about what this constitutes sexual harassment. So physical contact and advances involving unwelcome and explicit sexual overturn. I don't know whether I have to explain it or not, because in my training, I explain each and every line. A demand or request for sexual favor. Okay, I'll show you one video also, which you will understand what is this all about. That would be better. Showing pornography against the will of a woman, making sexually colored remarks shall be guilty of the offense of sexual harassment and shall be punished with rigorous imprisonment for a term which may extend to 3 years or with fine. So apart from that, this is 4 points which in general I'm talking about, but this training, I mean, what constitutes sexual harassment is a vast subject, and you can speak for say 12 hours. So I take 1 to 2 hour session on this subject particularly. Muna, I'll show one more slide. I would like to share one thing so that you will understand I'm talking about what, and you will that make you understand better. And let me stop sharing. Can't. Am I there? Share screen. Just let me know if it is visible. Everyone can see my screen. Okay. Everyone can see my screen.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. Now
Yes, yes.
I'm switching on one video. One video mu dekho ji, so that everyone can able to understand what I'm talking about. Let me know if it is not legible or audible to everyone. So this act has actually enacted in 2013, but it took 21 years to recognize the plight of women at workplace. Why it took 21 years? I'll tell you how to calculate it. In 1992, the Vishaka in 1997, the Vishaka guidelines had come, but how that guidelines had come and what has happened, why that guidelines had come, and it was what has happened in 1992. Let me take you to which one? Let me take you to the story which I would like to share with you all. Can't see my screen. Am I sharing some screen? I can't see my screen actually.
Yeah, it has been said. Judicial precedents.
Okay, but I can't see. That's why. Let me. Lot of complication here. Okay. So what has happened in Gujarat? One woman, she was a Dalit woman, and her name was Banwari Devi. So she was protesting for child marriage, and 1 year old, a child at the age of 1 year, some society, some people, a group of people, they were making her married, that 1 year old girl. So she protested that. When she protested her, that community, they were completely against that lady, Banwari Devi, and she was gang raped. When she was gang raped, she filed her complaint in police and various authority, but no one registered her complaint and no one take the cognizance of her matter. So there was a NGO that is called Vishaka. They take her case as a PIL and filed it in Supreme Court. Then Supreme Court passed this judgment in 1997. So this incident happened in 1992, and this guidelines which I'm talking about and how the POSH Act was enacted, it is completely related. So it came in 1997, and the POSH Act, it was enacted in 2013. So the entire period was say around 21 years. So it took 21 years to understand what rights should be given to the to women. This is I mean to say. So in Vishaka guidelines, what Supreme Court had stated that the employees were asked to take some necessary steps had to be taken by the employers, that is entrepreneurs, employers, organization, corporates. So what they have to take the step as per Vishaka guidelines is expressing a clear prohibition of sexual harassment by properly notifying, publishing and circulating such information in the workplace in suitable ways. Suitable working condition should be established in workplaces relating to the respect of work, leisure, health, and hygiene to make sure that no such hostile environment towards women. Employees should be allowed to raise issues relating to sexual harassment at workers' meeting and in other appropriate forums, and it should be affirmatively discussed in meetings where employer and employees both are present, providing a safe working environment where the female employees are safe from the individuals they come in contact with at the workplace. Few more steps Supreme Court had said to how to curb the sexual harassment. In the case where sexual harassment occurs because of the result of such an act or omission by any third party, the employer and the person in charge have to take all necessary actions that are justifiable to assist the victim person in terms of support and preventive action. So person in charge, employer, I will make you understand what is this all about. So it was these guidelines that motivated the formation of Sexual Harassment of Women at Workplace Act 2013, POSH Act. So what few more steps? I mean, like I was already telling you that it took legislation 16 years after the passing of Vishaka. Vishaka ke baad, Vishaka pore jodi hame calculate karwa 2013, then it is 16 years. If I talk about the incident of Banwari Devi happened, that was in 1990. So I was calculating the period of 21 days. Now this act has filled in the void of proper legislation that delivers each and every woman in India, regardless of age or status of employment, a workplace that is safe and secure from any kind of harassment. The objective of POSH Act is to not only protect but also to prevent any kind of sexual harassment that occur in workplace and ensure a speedy remedy for any complaints that are filed under the Act. One is this protection. If something has happened with a lady, so there is a protection as per the POSH Act. Prevention. These guidelines have been implemented only because these sexual harassment will not happen in organizations. So that is the major motive. I would like to. I hope you understand why why 2013 when Nirbhaya Kand, you remember Nirbhaya Kand jitra heitla 2012 rape. So the 23-year-old girl was raped and assaulted by 6 individuals, and her friend had been badly beaten up. Seta jani chanti. To tapare बहुत रोष आसियोला ladies में को बेटे पूरा country रे रोष आसियोला, and then this POSH Act was enacted in 2013 only. Or lot of amendments has also happened. Not only this act was enacted, IPC रे भी जो outrage the modesty of women 154 section रे A to D A रू पूरा E पर्यंत लागी वाला, Evidence Act was amended, Protection POXO Act was amended. So a lot of changes came after this Nirbhaya Kand. So I just want to say POSH Act रे जो particular 25 section अच्छी, section 25 of POSH, what it says, I want to make you aware that power to call for information and inspect of records. So this section gives the power कि अपन को कंपनी रे जाएगी inspection करी होबो और information नहीं होबो. The appropriate government, on being satisfied that it is necessary in the public interest or in the interest of women employees at a workplace to do so by order in writing, call upon any employer or district officer to furnish in writing such information relating to sexual harassment as it may require. Why they are talking about employer and district officer? Because IC is Internal Complaint Committee, which is formed by an organization, private company, and LC is Local Committee, which is formed by a district officer. Because see, everybody is not covered in POSH. Like, for example, your maid, the lady who is working at your home, where will she get IC? IC can be formed if you have more than 10 employees. So gute maid gute ghare kamo karti, she is also covered in POSH Act, but she cannot make a complaint in IC because she is not working in an organization having 10 employees or more than that. So she will go to LC, that is Local Committee, which is formed by, again, authority and district officer say that is the concerned in charge. So I was saying, authorize any officer to make inspection of the records and workplace in relation to sexual harassment, who shall submit a report of such inspection to it within such period as may be specified in the order. Every employer and district official shall produce on demand before the officer making the inspection all information, records, and other documents in his custody having a bearing on the subject matter of such inspection. So the record can be asked by you, from you, as you being an employer, कि POSH Act का implement है कि ना, your IC committee has been formed or not, whether you have 4 members in your IC committee or not, whether one of the member is external committee or not, how many cases you have received, how many cases you have solved. So entire year report they can ask you under this section. Now, what under section 26 says? If you don't comply with this order, penalty for non-compliance of provision of this. Now, if you don't comply with this provision of this act, POSH Act, where the employer fails to constitute an internal committee under this so-and-so section, contravenes or attempts to contravene or abates contravention of other provision of this act or any rules made thereunder, he shall be punishable with fine which may extend to 50,000 rupees. তাহলে এটা যদি POSH Act is not implemented in your organization, you will be fined penalty laguchi 50,000 ro. If any employer, after having been previously convicted of an offense punishable, I mean, you have been caught by the authority that you have not implemented this POSH Act in your organization, you have been fined, you have been imposed cost of 50,000. Again, you have been caught. Outre jodi apankor with this offense dhara padle, then what will be the penalty? Twice the punishment which might have been imposed on the first conviction, subject to the punishment being maximum provided for the same offense, provided that in case the higher punishment is prescribed under any other law for the time being in force for the offense for which the accused has been prosecuted, the court shall take due cognizance of the same while awarding the punishment. Cancellation. Now, cancellation is also one of the provision if there is no non-compliance. Cancellation of license of the organization or withdrawal or non-renewal or approval or cancellation of the registration as the case may be by the government or local authority required for carrying on this business or activity. This is one thing. I would like to also give some examples who have been caught or kaha ko kitte penalty lagi cha. One company I would like to, I cannot come with you, bring before you so many companies, but yes, major companies mu kohi dochi. There is a company called Mandate, Medanta, tankor naam hai Global Health Private Limited ochi. So what they did, they tankor case lagi jaitla because they had not formed the IC committee. So local complaint committee, they had actually what has happened, what is senior marketing manager, there was a senior marketing manager in the organization Medanta. So she faced one the allegation made by that respondent, that is that lady, was interference with her work, creation of an intimidating and hostile environment by the acts, misdemeanor and conduct of immediate superior officer Dr. Gaurinath Mandiga, medical superintendent manager of the petitioner company. Her repeated request, constant complaints for protection and support sought from the superior authorities, including the managing director, was left unattended. She kept telling, listen to me, hear me, I am being harassed and all, but no one heard her. She found herself singled out and was subjected to typical hostile work environment, intimidating with her future employment, and past the complaint made by her, she was terminated by the employer. Now see, the complaint was submitted in the Women Welfare section of Ministry of Women and Child Development, Government of India, which was subsequently forwarded to the local committee since the hospital did not have any internal committee. Internal committee yadi nahi apan ko organization, then they will forward it to local committee. The local committee conducted an inquiry and issued direction to the hospital by stating that disciplinary action be initiated against medical superintendent and also imposed penalty of 50,000 for failing to constitute an internal committee. 50,000 ro cost lagi wala company upre. Apart from that, this lady was awarded in lieu of compensation. She was compensated with 25 lakhs in lieu of mental agony, harassment, jaha sabu tar loss bhi hai ki damages tar job ro. So mise ki 25 lakhs the company, that is Global Health Private Limited, had to pay her. So this is the consequence if you don't comply with IC and POSH Act. One more company is there. I mean, there are many companies. They have been imposed with heavy cost. So I'm discussing this. IP Infusion Software India Private Limited. They are based in Gurgaon. So city they did not have a IC committee and they were imposed 50,000, and that some compensation was also paid to the lady who had made the complaint to the IC, wanted to make the complaint to the IC committee, but did not find the IC committee, went to LC, and that's why this compensation was also paid to her, that is around 4,80,000. So this is very relevant cases which I wanted to discuss with you all. One case I want to discuss, I want to present to you. A colonel of Indian Army made advances. It was also passed in by Supreme Court in the case, name was D.S. Garewal versus Bimbi Joshi. So there was a colonel in Indian Army who made advances and wrote inappropriate letters to the principal at an army school. The principal was apprehensive that if she objected to his conduct, he would create a hostile environment, working environment, and hinder her employment, including her promotion. Her fears did not come true as her services were terminated. Now, the Supreme Court ordered, when she went to appellate authority, the Supreme Court ordered the school management to constitute a 3-member complaints committee, that is as per Vishaka guidelines, to ascertain if there were any prima facie case against the army officer. If the committee found such a case, it would submit its report to the army, which would then initiate disciplinary proceedings. The court also affirmed that the school management was bound to bear the legal cost incurred by the principal, that is around 50,000, for it had not complied with Vishaka guidelines, and that is way back around in 2009. Okay, one more case I would like to present before you. There is a case which was passed in 2012, Medha Kotwal Lele and others versus Union of India. The petitioner wrote a letter highlighting several cases of sexual harassment and describing that Vishaka guidelines were not effectively implemented in the country. The letter was converted into a writ petition and was filed in the Supreme Court of India, where the petitioner alleged that guidelines that were laid down in the Vishaka case were unable to curb the sexual harassment in workplace because these guidelines were violated in both substance and spirit by the state authorities. The apex court held that several states were not properly implementing the guidelines. The Supreme Court issued the following directions. It directed that the state government shall provide comprehensive publicity to the notifications and orders issued by it in adherence to the Vishaka guidelines, and the directions issued in Medha Kotwal case by the Supreme Court, and this should be done by publishing all the information in the newspaper having the most circulation in the state after every 2 months. Complete publicity should be given in Doordarshan about the several steps taken by the state government for enacting the guidelines laid down in the Vishaka case and the direction given by the Medha Kotwal case. Wide publicity should be given by the Social Welfare and the Legal Service Authority of Sikkim to the notification and orders given by the state government for both the governments and private institutions. So this has happened. I will also discuss one more case with you all. That is Seema Lepcha versus State of Sikkim. Seema Lepcha, widow and a peon working at the central bank, was sexually harassed by the chief manager of the Gangtok bank branch. Now, as per Vishaka guidelines, there needs to be an independent committee looking after the sexual harassment cases in the organization, which were not present at the bank workplace. See, this is a big bank and they did not have any IC committee. A writ was filed in the High Court of Sikkim concerning the absence of independent complaint committee, that is ICC, in the bank. The High Court directed the respondents, who is the respondent here, that is bank, to create a complaint committee and have the proper training for sensitization of the bank employees and to structure policies for preventing cases of sexual harassment in the workplace. So I'm discussing these cases so that you people are aware that how important this POSH Act to be implemented in your organization. One case I would like to discuss only because like girls are, ladies, female are very much skeptical about, they are also feel ashamed, they are shy sometimes, they don't go to the IC, they don't make anything complaint, they think that it is stigma on them, it can create stigma on them, it can create obstacles in their career. So what has happened in this case, there was a case in 2000, CS Usha versus Madras Refineries Limited, represented by its company secretary Chennai. So this order was passed by High Court Chennai. So I'm discussing this case, reason being this lady who was facing this problem for last 7 years, I mean sexual harassment from her senior. and she was not taking it forward and not making complaint to the IC. And when she wanted leave from that boss, from her boss, she was not granted leave for say 1 month or 2 months. She wanted to take a further studies, and she was not granted leave because she did not give sexual favor to his boss. And her boss was or making all advances towards her, and she was not giving any favor to his boss. So she was not she was not granted that leave. Now for 7 years she has been not making any complaint against the boss, but when he objected and when he did not grant his leave, she went forward to the IC committee and made the complaint about that boss. But that case was rejected and dismissed by the court, stating that she's a very, I'll read out the lines, because it was stated that she's a highly qualified lady, highly qualified person in a very important position. And how can she bear all these sexual advances by her boss for last 7 years? And she has not come up to IC and not made any complaint. It is not possible and it is unbelievable. Court says that it is unbelievable. So she did not get any relief. So by this case, I would like to say that every girl whosoever faces sexual harassment should come forward and complaint to the IC. Okay, this case I would like to discuss, reason being Abhilasha Dwivedi versus Department of Women and Child Development, NCT of Delhi 2020. Complaint filed writ petition questioning legality of constitution of internal complaint committee since its presiding officer. Like I said, there should be 4 members and one should be the presiding officer. That presiding officer was colleague of delinquent employee. She was not satisfied with the action of the internal complaints committee in respect of her complaint of sexual harassment, leveling allegation against the accused that male officer misbehaved with her by shouting in anger and inappropriate behavior. Her averment is that the delinquent employer had shouted at her in front of the whole staff and she found the said behavior to be intolerable. The High Court observed that shouting in anger may be a misbehavior, but it itself is not covered under the term sexual harassment. Any inappropriate behavior by male staff with women at workplace without having sexual overtones would not be covered under POSH Act. The ICC had also found that allegations made by the petitioner were general in nature and she had failed to substantiate them. Hence, such a contention of the petitioner is not admissible. Okay, before ending this presentation, I would like to summarize it. When an organization having 10 or more employees fails to constitute an IC as per the POSH Act 2013 mandate, it has to bear a fine of ₹50,000. The LC or any appellate authority can order this fine in the, like we have already read about the Gurugram Travel Agency, Medanta and many other infamous cases, one or other authority has ordered this fine. We increasingly see a trend of higher penalties to corporate as precedents. In the Gurugram startup director case, while passing the order to pay 10.8 lakhs to the complainant, the LC cited the IP Infusion Private Limited case. The LC also has the mandate to hear cases from companies which have not constituted an IC due to having less than 10 employees. Right? Even if a company has more than 10 employees, LC may hear a case if it has not constituted an IC. It may also redirect the complaint to the company with an order to constitute IC. Now, the LC will also penalize the company of 50,000 for failing to follow the statute of constituting an IC. This clause is not direct learning from the case mentioned in the title, but it's crucial to understand that failing to constitute IC can lead the complainant to the LC. Now, the LC will penalize the company for not constituting the IC. If it hears the cases, it can also come down more heavily by ordering a hefty penalty to the employer or the respondent. So this is a very important part that every employer, every company, every organization should constitute they should form IC and comply with this order. I would like to share who all come under this category. One more presentation I have. Okay, I would like to show you. Okay, let's know, because you would like to know what is workplace, which all places are workplace. Any government, semi-government, corporation, institution, establishment owned, controlled, financed by the government, corporation, cooperative society, all are workplace. So this POSH Act is applicable in workplace only. It is not that you are on the way and you have been sexually harassed in bus or in auto or in Uber, and you go to the IC. It is not that way. So it has to be workplace. Now, what all cover in workplace? Any private sector organization, foreign company having office in India, hospitals, nursing home, यहाँ पे भी एटी भी यदि था तो that also falls. POSH Act is applicable here. Any sport institution, complex or stadium, any place visited by the employee arising out of during employment, including transportation provided by the employer. So if I talk about transportation, if the employee, female employee is going from office or from one place to the other place, other station for the office work, that covers in workplace. You cannot say, the employer cannot say, this has not happened in my workstation, in my company. You were in some hotel, but she was in a guest house or in hotel because of office work. Office has sent her. So that also fall under the workplace. A dwelling place or house, but they will go to LC, not IC. An official gathering, parties, events, etc. Educational institution, employee on an official hour, the POSH Act is applicable even if we are working from home, because coronary people were working from home. So you cannot say that you were at your home. So how can somebody harassed you sexually? But it was also falling under the work. This also falls in workplace. It applies to the virtual world too. Any correspondence, messages, video, audio, etc., which sexually colored is sent, transmitted, conveyed through any electronic means is sexual harassment under POSH Act. If you're in a working condition, if you are working on laptop and your senior, your colleagues sent you through message or whatever, then that falls under this Act. In the case of Zahid Ali versus Union of India, the Honorable Delhi High Court on 27/9/2070 opined that sexually colored messages over the phone would fall under the definition of sexual harassment under POSH. One more, if we have time, one more thing I would like to cover.
Ma'am, okay, please cover. One small clarification here, like while covering the organization, I mean this office, whether suppose some office is there, they employ 20 employees or more than 10 employees, but they don't have a lady employee, then will it be applicable?
Yes. So this is a very good question, and everybody would like to know, I'm sure. This is applicable irrespective of any female or male employee, because employees, even a trainee who is coming to your office, even an intern who is coming to your office, even a office boy who is in your office, they all are covered in this act. So it is irrespective of male, female, gender. POSH Act has to be implemented in your organization irrespective of female churn ki male churn. It hardly matters. But yes, 10 employee, that is important. Nobody can, no authority can imposed cost on you or fine on you if you have less than 10 employees. That is there.
So irrespective of the gender, this act is applicable.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. It is applicable to a lady boss harassing a male employee also.
No, it is only applicable. This is a Women Pro Act. This is only applicable for women. If men are being harassed by a woman, this act is not applicable on them. However,
then what is the need to constitute if there is no lady member in the workplace or office? There is no need to constitute this.
Because anyone who is coming to your office, maybe she's a
Okay.
visitor.
Okay,
She's
okay.
a
Visitor
visitor.
also should be covered.
Yeah, maybe she's a sales girl, she's a visitor, she's you know, of yeah,
Customer also is covered.
they are also covered. मुनने अपन को देखे दो जी कि who all are covered. हाँ, सेटा कुटे आसिया ने. You'll get better know clarity बेसी है जो. Who are covered? Full-time employees, temporary workers, contract workers, daily wage employees, trainees, interns, contractual workers, housekeeping, security, client representative, vendor representative, volunteers. So anyone can be female. Anyone can come walk into your office and for a short period, maybe for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and she could be victim of sexual harassment. So she can always come
But-
forward for
but
IC.
ma'am, they are not under undue influence. They cannot be harassed with influence, undue influence. They are working in a separate entity. Suppose a
They are-
customer visits, my client's staff visits me. So they are not under my control. I cannot influence them. Somebody,
So-
someone, or
See, these are all covered in POSH Act. It has to be, I mean, your employee, you being an employer, you organization, if you have a IC committee, they will understand what that intern or what that trainee has have gone through. So she will definitely make a complaint. If you do not have any IC committee, then she will complain to LC. Then LC will take action against you. That trainee had come, intern had come, or contractual worker for a day or for 5 hours she had come and she was the victim. Then why you don't have any IC committee? Where will she report? So that is the reason why IC committee has to be formed in every organization.
I think not even in 1% of the organizations these committees are.
So that is why I'm saying why I'm here today, to make you aware that this in Delhi NCR and other state very much it is visible.
Okay.
बहुत सब जगह अच्छी because I am training them na. I meet IC committee, I train them and also take session for all the employees. So why this session I'm taking, I on this platform through OCF, I would like to come to Odisha state and make awareness about not this one. This is for employer. I want to make awareness about POSH Act, ki how POSH Act is good for them, for the employees, and what benefit they can get if this IC committee is formed in their organization. So that session can be taken by me. So I'm also contacting and approaching higher authority to reach out to you guys, to you people, to corporate, so that I take in session, I take a workshop, seminar, and make aware about this POSH Act and implementation of POSH Act. Someone wants to ask Hubert, I think.
Yes. Thank you.
Please,
Thank
sir.
you. Thank you, Ms. Mahapatra. I like that name because Dr. Mahapatra was my very good friend. He died. He's an old man. He died. It's a very good narration about how this act is being done. You are doing a great work. My congratulations and my support. I'm from Chennai. Okay. Very good. See, this is like a two-edged sword. It can give benefit and also it can harm. Well,
Yes, exactly. In the opening remark, I said that because of this problem, because of this act, most of the organizations they're not accepting lady employees. That's a deterrent also.
so what happens is, not here, I've seen in Canada and America, where the women may, even here also, even India also, some places this has happened, but it has not been reported, where women have been violators of this sexual violence on the men. You would have seen, this is well narrated among the army officers in America, where this is very, very common, where women take an advantage. Of course, we have to protect our women. Women are here, we treat them like goddesses, and the treatment should be like that. I have no doubt. But at the same time, how does we see? We do not live in the court and with the acts and with all the law books. We live, whether it is workplace or at home, we live as people. So there should be some sort of a rational way, so that prevention is much better. So any preventive measures rather than punitive measures. So if you can guide us on that, that would be a very good, sister.
I have given my acha Nayan Ratha madam आपण भी किछि कहबा को चाहउचंती बदे we can't hear you if you are saying something. No, आपनकर आवाज ऑडिबल नाही मैडम, we can't hear you. अच्छा आपनकर म्यूट अछि.
Did you hear my question?
Yeah. Now I'm unmuted.
Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am, actually, for the very nice elaboration of the law and everything. I'm basically a banker, and I'm a trained POS trainer also from ProTouch. So, bearing aside knowing the law, I also just want to. So many times I have been the ICC member, even the chairperson of the women's cell. I have to conduct so many inquiries. But prima facie, the problems which the IC members are facing it is immaterial, the male, female or female, male. And problem is whenever you start doing any inquiry, unless since I'm working in a bank, I can put some documentary evidence to prove the nature, the gesture and the talk and some other things to get the thing proved. If basically I'm convinced that there has been some sort of misappropriate behavior from either side is there. But in most of the cases, like your gesture, your look, suppose I'm in a meeting, somebody looks some lady in a different way. So those are the things is very difficult to prove in the inquiry position. And second problem the IC members are facing mostly, whenever you go for any inquiry, all the government organization and most of the big private organizations, they have IC committee. They are putting the report. They are giving to the Ministry of Home Affairs every details as per the law. But actual implementation of the law is most of the time not getting percolated to the real affected people. So I think in this case, how to conduct those inquiries, how to face. Sometimes whenever you are trying to prove or you have proved the case, you are under the grey light of the higher authority. Sometimes even the affected lady also sometimes has to be in the just torture point, maybe transferred to somewhere, maybe she has been getting a very less trial in the promotion process. All those things can happen. So my question is, if you can just add on in your training session and in your deliberations for the IC members, how they can go about with a training. And second part, just to add on while going through the deliberations, like if some lady boss is mistreating a junior male. In those cases, I think in some cases we can add on this particular law in the HR policy of the company, so that either way the male or female can be protected under the law. And another thing which we are not making it clear in HR policy, like the rule of disclaimer. Suppose in the today's world, some friends are getting joined in the same organization. Two friends, they are friends, the student, and right from the childhood. So some of the words they use, some of the gestures they use with the particular boy or girl in either way, it is affecting also the office, other premises or office, other colleagues, other people. So I think it is more required for males also, for boys also, to understand where to draw that line. What is that Lakshman Rekha?
So
I should not cross it. So most important is in this training law problem because everybody, and as a government organization, most of the organization I'm talking of the organized sector, they have they are giving the reports, they are conducting the inquiry, but it is not being done in the true spirit of the law. So how to go about?
Ma'am, why it is happening? Reason being, they are not conducting any workshop or sessions on Posh Act. Where I'm staying in Delhi NCR, every organization are calling me or any other trainer at least twice in a year to make their employees aware where to draw the line. It's a very small thing. Even if a male is saying, you look good in this red lipstick, why don't you come in red lipstick and don't wear pink lipstick? That has gone to Supreme Court. I mean, from IC to appellate court, that is labor court, and then to High Court, and then to Supreme Court. आप सोचो Supreme Court तक जो कथा पहुंची जाऊची, only for sake of ki lipstick hi to koila. It's a very casual thing. I say lipstick hi to koila. What is the bad? It should be unwelcome and sexual tone. That matters a lot. So
the impact is important.
Impact is important, and eta upre proper training way. I take
than
that.
The actual the intention may be bad, may not be.
So it's a matter of 2-3 hours of session, which every company should organize and conduct. That is why I am here today through this platform. I would like to reach you out, every company, and I want to make you aware, every employee, कि कौन कबा कथा और को छोटोटा कथा केते आपको चल जीवो, you never know. So be aware.
एमती डिस्कशन भितर गोटे पर्टिकुलर लैंग्वेज पार्टी रु बाहरी गला. If we are not conscious, either from both ways, it can be termed as an unwelcome sexual overtone language or behavior or gesture.
So that will be proved. That case will be dismissed. That IC has to understand this part, particularly impact, which you have already stated, and then it is whether it was a sexual tone or not. And there are आजकल तो वेब कैमरा लगी जाती ना सब कंपनीज गुड़ा रे वेब कैमरा रे you catch it whether how was his thought process. So everything is clear. It's not very difficult to
in practical
in proceedings.
देखिबा को sometimes जेतले अपन जाउचंती to conduct an inquiry, suppose not in your particular locality, local area, you are going some other state or some other regions for conducting, the first impact asi jauchi, it is like not the merit of the case, it is like male versus female. Like male लोक मानकर approach गोटे रहिबो, similarly female लोक मानकर approach गोटे, it is a stereotype approach. So most of the thing is the biased towards gender, the mindset, it has to be initially has to be normal and has to be rational, so that irrespective of the person, somebody can think of and somebody can see the documents, see the complaints, and then go for either to prove or to disprove. It is not proving the scene is not important. Realization is important.
Absolutely. And apart from that, instead of employees, I think we should train employer and IC team how to take the proceedings of a case. Maybe you are prosecuting the respondent who is not a offender. He is not the offender. He is not actually a criminal, and you are prosecuting him and you are punishing him. Maybe so. You should at least know. IC, the committee should know what is this offense is all about.
And sometimes reconciliation also we can do, taking both the parties into organization.
Yes, that should be the first step.
Yeah, and without hunting somebody's sentiment or somebody's career, somebody's reputation and everything. It sometimes, most of the time, it happens just like it happens. There is no intention of doing it.
Yes.
But it happens. Yeah.
Ma'am, excuse me, just the last remark. Here we are missing one. Here we are missing one very important point.
Again.
That ये जो law टा अच्छी, ताको more personal vendetta पे भी people may use, and it is seen in most of the cases it has been used. So what is very important. What is very important is training of employer.
Yes.
And the past record.
Yes. बिल्कुल perfect कोले.
Hello, madam.
In this case, In this case, ma'am, I think if there is the case is proved that somebody has put a false allegation, there are cases also, there are instances, even in the post law, the lady will be put accountable
Yeah.
for that. He may lose, he
Yes.
may get any type of punishment for this.
Yes,
So
yes.
only thing, the employer should know the authenticity of the case. The person,
Yes.
both the persons, their background, their career, and the incident. Everything has to be taken into account so that we
Another
can
point,
do a
madam,
fair justice.
as you said, comment about lipstick is so serious, it has been referred to up to Supreme Court. Then in between, two colleagues, they transcribed so many words. So if something goes wrong sometime, that that will be again flared up.
See, I'll tell you
then
one
very
incident.
difficult.
I'll tell you what. If there is a relationship, apan bhavani ho, there is a relationship between a man and women. Because the man is appreciating the lady is accepting it, and she's enjoying. Okay. Now it has been moving on for 1-2 months. Now they are not in a relationship, and the male is appreciating the lady, and the lady is not feeling good. It is for her, it is unwelcoming. She's not feeling comfortable. The impact is bad. And now when she will go to the IC, male cannot say that I was her boyfriend. So what happened if I say if I am appreciating her? So that he can be prosecuted in this scenario also.
But then, ma'am, then the law is heavily poised towards women here. So gender
Gender bias. See, 21 years for it, so people have understand. The lawmakers have understand. Yes, they need some rights. See, why law comes? It is happening. These things are happening, and nothing has been taken. No cognizance is being taken. That is why the law came up. Men sangra hoba ko arambo hejibo. This law will definitely come.
Right.
Ma'am, mu babuji, setaku even individual private company also can put it in their HR policy, keeping this gender harassment either way, either from the male to the female or from the female to the male. They can construct their policy accordingly, taking to the disclaimer act in a right spirit, so that nobody will take a offense against anything, or nobody will take advantage of anything and everybody.
Correct, ma'am. Ma'am, I think 2 hands have been raised. Let's listen to them also.
Yeah, please tell.
Mr. Pramod Patnaik.
Pramod Patnaik ji, kaun to sir?
Yes. I am waiting since long.
Yeah, please.
Am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes.
Am I audible? So I know a particular case in an industry where a girl was continuously sexually abused.
You are not audible, sir. आपका आवाज ही clear नहीं. So, sir, can we wind up? Mihir sir, if we can wind up, just let me know.
No, don't disturb. Too far for this meeting. Sorry. Yeah. Hello.
Yeah, sir, I was asking if we can wind up.
Yeah. No. I think there was some technical glitch. Yeah, and now I have come. So is it through? Anyone else wants to ask a question? I think 2 hands have been raised. How kiye achanti, sir, question pe? ma'am has been so kind to address all the questions. I think there is no more question. Ma'am, I think this is such a vast subject, and we need to discuss intermittently, so that I know many organizations they don't have this committee, and in case of problem, it is for the protection of the employees of the organization, to
Yes,
seal
that is
them,
more important.
to conceal them from the false allegation point of view. This is highly required for any sort of organization. Thank you, ma'am, for your nice
Thank you,
deliberation
sir.
and comment over the topic. Probably if you have got time, then we can again arrange such a meeting.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you,
Thank you.
everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, all the participants.
Thank you.